Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Today is January the 19th, and we are talking NBA today for Friday. We're going to be talking about college basketball and a little NBA for Saturday. And of course, we'll be talking about the NFL championship games, both the line moves and my free picks on those. Now, on the Saturday games, this will become a regular feature on this because what we're going to do, obviously we don't know the lines just yet of what the college basketball games are going to be at this time. So we're going to anticipate them. I have my power ratings and some other sources that I'll put something together, give a general range, and give my picks on those games with a little story on the biggest games of the day in terms of televised. Okay, so we'll be doing that. That'll be regular going forward. So that we'll be doing this. So Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. My selections, super systems, top trends of the day, wise guy plays, and other bonuses every single day, not just here and there. You can get all of that for $39.99 a month. That's all it's going to cost you. Okay, simple as that. Some really good stuff that's going to help you win because, as I have said before, and I will continue to say again on these videos, I understand you're not betting just the picks that you purchase. I understand that. So what I try and do is to provide you the tools that you need. Consider VPID a toolbox of handicapping information that is designed to help you win more consistently. That's what this is all about. It isn't just about my picks, me bragging myself up how wonderful I am. No, it's about giving you the information to make you a smarter, better. Okay, so that's my goal, that's my agenda, and that has been it since day one, since I came up with this concept. So check it out. $39.99 a month is all it's going to cost you. Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Check it out on the website right today. Now, hey, let's get to some NBA action. We're going to start with the New York Knicks. Excuse me. We're going to start with the Brooklyn Nets hosting the Miami Heat. Now, the Heat have won 8 out of 9, been playing very well. And they're known as a great defensive team, have been for years, and they're number 5 this year in points allowed. But yet, interestingly enough, during this hot stretch, they're 7-2 over. And the reason that is the case is because their offense has been doing so well. They're scoring 5 more points per game than their average during this stretch. So their offense has been quite impressive. Now, the total on this game has gone up 2 points to 207 and a half. And the Miami is going to be going up against the 26th rated defense in Brooklyn. Whew, not very good. So it seems like an easy over, right? But you know what? I'm going to go the other way. I think the under is going to be the play here. I think the Nets are certainly capable of playing defense. They've shown that. Their offense is good. There's some problems with the Brooklyn. I just think it's going to be an under game. And the reason I say that in part is because the Heat are 23 and under when they have covered 4 out of their last 5. I like the under on that. 66% of bettors agree with me on that. Now, let's head out to Utah. It's going to be the ESPN game, New York and the Utah Jazz. Boy, if you live in the East Coast, that's what we're staying up for, right? No, it's not. Okay, but you can bet it. See what the score is in the morning. That's likely what the best way I would do it, anyways. Hey, you know what? Utah Jazz. When you think of the word hot, you're not going to put Utah Jazz and hot in the same sentence because that has not been the case. They've been playing extremely poorly. Yet they have gone from -4 to -6 against the New York Knicks. Reason being, Knicks 5-16, 8-13 against the spread on the road, losing by 7.4 points per game. But you know what? This is a bumpy road. Looking at Utah, they've going to have to go Debbie Downer on this one for you. They're 5-15 in their last 20 games straight up. They just beat Sacramento, but the last time they've won 2 games in a row was the first 2 games they played in December. So it's been a while for this team. Now, Utah has had success against New York. They're 13-6 at home straight up, but only 6-13 against the spread against the Knicks. Ooh, not very good. To me, this is a really ugly game to pick. I would certainly pass on it if it were up to me, but because it's a line move, that's why it's included in this. I'm going to lean with the Knickerbockers because I would rather take the points than give the points in this particular instance. Okay, let's move ahead to Saturday. We're going to talk a little bit of college basketball. Game of note, Xavier Seton Hall on Fox about 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. I'm seeing this line. Seton Hall's going to be anywhere from a pick to -2 on this one. Now, both these Big East teams are chasing Villanova. The loser of this game is going to fall 2 games behind, which is going to make it that much more difficult for them to try and catch them in the Big East. Seton Hall, though, they just got whacked by Creighton by 17. They're at home. I think they come ready to play. So I'm going to say Seton Hall in that, presuming the point spread is in that price range, I think Seton Hall's the play here. Next up, Pac-12 action out to my neck of the woods here. Arizona's at Stanford. That's going to be the 4 o'clock Eastern game on CBS. These teams, Stanford and Arizona, are in first place, tied for first place on that. Now, in this one, Arizona was expected to be here. Stanford, not so much, but the Cardinal have been playing extremely well. I look at this game, though, and I like what I've seen, by the way, from the Cardinal. I had them the other night against... Or no, I didn't. I had them as a free play. Excuse me. I had them as a free play on the VPID website against Arizona State, and they covered handily. And this one at +4. But I've seen both these teams play a few times, and the thing that I look at is Arizona is not super quick like they have been in some of the years past. They're a bigger team, not plodding, but they're a little bit slower. And that's sort of how Stanford plays. So I think it's from a matchup standpoint, I think it favors the Arizona Wildcats, who I'm anticipating will be favored somewhere between 3 and 5 points in this one. I'll take the Wildcats to get it done. The hyped up game, not necessarily a fantastic game, but the hyped up game is the ESPN primetime game with Florida at Kentucky. That's going to be around 8:15 on ESPN. Now, Kentucky, with a victory, can move into a first-place tie with Florida. Now, Auburn's also there, so we don't know if Auburn will be there by the end of the night or not. We'll have to see how their game turns out. The Wildcats are extremely young. In fact, this is the youngest team they've ever had, despite the number of freshmen, because they just don't have very many upperclassmen to help carry the load of this team. And they have been poor on the road, but extremely good at home, where they're 11-0, even though they're only 4-7. But I think the spread's going to be low on this one. I got Kentucky favored anywhere from 1 to 3 points. Boy, the Gators all year have been hard to figure. Just when you think they're going to do well, they falter. When you think they're going to go the other way and maybe just really stink, they come back. And that's even in game-to-game situations that happens with them. I just think that Florida can win the game. I just don't think they will. I'm going to take Kentucky on that one. Finally, Saturday night, Golden State at Houston. That's going to be the ABC primetime game. You might have even seen a commercial about that game, believe it or not. Like everywhere, right? Okay. This is the third meeting for these two teams that are expected to be in the Western Conference Finals this year. Golden State has covered 4 in a row in H-Town, and the visiting team is on a 5-1 move. I'm going to stick with that and take Golden State. I think this game could be a 1-point contest either way on the spread. That's at least that's what I got. I got Golden State to win the game, cover the spread. All right, let's move ahead to Sunday. Jacksonville and New England. Now, New England opened as an 8-point favorite initially, quicker than a Marcus Williams missed tackle like the one we saw him do against Minnesota last Sunday. Football bettors were digging, because the touchdown was scored by Diggs. Get it? Okay, all right. So you're paying attention. You know what I'm talking about. They're digging it, moved them to -9. And you know what? The number is justified. New England at home against non-division teams. They're going to get 4 for sure right off the top. And then you consider Belichick, you consider Brady versus Bortles, and you consider New England's playoff history. Makes perfect sense. Until Tom jams or does something to his right hand, we don't really know, and we won't know, okay, until we actually see him play, because how mysterious, of course, New England always keeps things. So that being the case, the spread is now down to 7. I like New England. I think New England's the better play. Teams that score 40 or more points, like Jacksonville did, they're 3 in the playoffs, I should say. They're 3-11 and 3-10-1 against spread their next game, but this is a caveat here with Brady. Not sure exactly what to do here. I think New England, though, overall, I still like them, but I don't like them as much not knowing where Brady's circumstances. The total opened at 47, went down to 46, and basically has stayed there throughout. Both teams score better than 26 points a game, and they give up fewer than 19 points a game. I think Blake Bortles has the direct impact on this game in terms of the total. If he plays good, like he did last week, the total could go over. If he plays bad like he did the week before against Buffalo, they got no chance. So my guess he's going to play somewhere in between, which in my world is somewhere between here and Saturn in terms of what to expect from him. I think the under is going to be the right call on this one at 46 nevertheless. So New England, under, those are my two choices there. Finally, let's wrap it up with Minnesota at Philadelphia. That's going to be the second game on Fox. The opening line of 38 was curious to me, the opening line of 38 on the total, because you just don't see that many games in the 30s. How few are there? Well, let's put it this way. I think there's about as many games in the 30s as there are VCRs that still have beta tapes, okay? You just don't see it anymore. Now, I'm not sure if bettors just felt uncomfortable with the idea of a spread in the 30s, so they moved it up to 39.5, despite the fact that we have Case Keenum going against Nick Foles in the most anticipated quarterback matchup since. Yeah, exactly. All right, in breaking this contest down, here's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at these numbers. This is all I can think of. 16-13, 17-13, 20-17. Okay, that's how I think this game is going to play out in terms of the final score. One of those three, all three of those qualify as under. The only thing that's going to change that in my mind, we have a sloppy turnover, scoop and score, something fluky, okay, that can change the total of the game. But to anticipate that and to assume that's going to happen, I just don't consider that wise. I'll back the under in the NFC title game. So hey, you got everything from me. That's 8 selections to consider for this whole weekend, okay? So that's good stuff. So good luck to you. Hopefully you do well on your picks. I anticipate I will as well. So this is Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. As of right now, I am out.